In 1936, Dale Carnegie wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People. It soon was so popular that in a dozen years they had to go back and make additional printings, 80 different printings. To date, it's sold over 30 million copies. Carnegie says that the principles that are in this book and also in the one on how to stop worrying and start living come directly from Jesus. I admire that, and I also appreciate getting to give credit to Jesus for one of Carnegie's most basic principles. One of his most basic ones is, be genuinely interested in others. Emphasis on genuinely interested. Because if we're interested for selfish purposes, that becomes obvious very quickly. I said that this obviously comes from Jesus. Do you remember that Jesus taught that the second greatest commandment is love your neighbor as you love yourself? And love in that case is not saying have a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling about them. No, it means treat them like Jesus would treat them. Treat them in a Christian way. Perhaps another way to say that is be genuinely interested in them and what we can do for them. One specific application of this principle, I think, needs to be made regarding visitors at church. When they come, they're looking us over. They have interest and they're looking at us to find out if they should be more interested. Dr. Stafford North has written a book entitled Evangelizing Your Community. He says that we need to start with visitors that come to the church building for worship. He said they're interested in us. That should be the most obvious place to start. But why would we approach them? Why would we be interested in talking to them? If it is just for church growth, just to get our numbers up, we think we might be able to use them in that count. That'll be so obvious to them. We need to be genuinely interested in them, their needs that we might be able to meet, or just being friendly, finding out about them, making them feel welcome, and presenting our program and what we're doing there to see if they want to be a part of that. But the focus is on them. This point was driven home to me rather forcefully many years ago when I was preaching at the Airline Drive Church in Bossier City. In fact, it rather stung the first time it was brought home to me. You see, every Sunday I felt like there were 3 or 4 people that I needed to see about some point of church work. And so I was always looking for them in the crowded church foyer. One day one of the deacons pulled me aside to say, Jim, when I talk to you, I don't feel like I have your attention. You're always looking over your shoulder or looking over my shoulder like there's someone else you'd rather be talking to. I say that stung, but I also started staying in the conversation where I was. Be genuinely interested in it. Now, I suppose I should note that there are some good people out there who are starved for attention or for conversation, and they will monopolize the time if you let them. Be genuinely interested in them, but also there may be a time when you pull away to take care of other matters. Maybe you pull away just because you have other matters, but you stay in the conversation with the person. You let them know that you are genuinely interested while you are talking to them. Whether we're thinking about the church foyer and visitors, or whether we're talking about life as a whole, I recommend to you Carnegie's basic principle that he got from Jesus. Today, be genuinely interested in others.